let's jump right into our headline topic for the day, which is, of course, that Alex managed to get the VP of Windows Platform and Services on the phone to go over some of our concerns about Windows Modern Standby. First of all, I want to give Microsoft credit because on the one hand, yeah, they've clearly sat on ass on this issue for, well, years at this point. But on the other hand, now that we have raised it as a problem, now that the community has spoken and made their voices heard that this is a problem that affects them day to day, they appear to be taking it really seriously. So let's start with kind of Alex's interview and go from there. First, Alex asked, why is S3 Sleep being removed from the BIOS of laptops? Oh, no, we should give the people a bit of a catch you up if you didn't catch the original video. Did you watch the video?
No.
Okay, so Windows Modern Standby, or S0 Sleep, is a connected type of sleep that is meant to replace the traditional S3 Sleep. It's supposed to be connected, more power efficient, and generally a boon. It's been brought about in no small part by Intel's push for a more smartphone-like experience on Windows laptops. The problem is that a lot of the time when the machine is sleeping, I mean, I'm sure you've encountered this. Have you ever come to your laptop, found it to be piping hot with a dead battery after you folded it and put it in your bag?
Yes. I also have, I'll try to put my desktop to sleep.
Okay, separate issue.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that for now. I left it in the camera den. So, we basically came out and said, we think we figured this out. We think it's to do with some kind of, it seems like high performance machines are disproportionately affected. So it's something that the machine can be churning away on while it's supposed to be sleeping. We figured out that by disabling the network connected aspect of this type of sleep on a Mac, we were able to get rid of that behavior, which we have also seen on a Mac, not even an Intel Mac. Right?
Interesting. Okay.
So it's just a weird quirk of this type of sleep state. And we basically made a video calling out Microsoft saying, hey, this has been a problem for literally years. This cannot be because you already suffer from worse battery life compared to your main competitor, Apple, who is gaining market share in the mobile computer space. You've got to deal with this because it is killing the experience of using a Windows laptop.
Yeah.
Like, I talked to someone like Jake, and I'm sitting here, I'm sorry, you charge your laptop like once a week? That's impossible for me because half the time I go to grab my laptop, it's probably not half, but it feels like every time I go to grab my bloody laptop, I might as well flip a coin for whether I'm going to have any battery left at all.
If you go somewhere without a cable, you might as well not even brought the laptop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we were trying to light a fire at Microsoft, and it seems like it worked. So the first thing Alex asked was, why is S3 Sleep being removed from the BIOS of laptops? Because that's the problem, is you couldn't even just say, look, I don't want S0, I want S3, when there's this industry move towards eliminating S3. So here's the answer. Microsoft is moving away from S3 Sleep because how each device goes to sleep is controlled by that device's firmware. That means for a device to sleep properly, the firmware needs to be updated and maintained by the company that made said device. And as you can probably guess, that doesn't happen all the time.
Big problem with Windows being put on so many different things.
By using S0 Sleep instead, Microsoft has more control over sleep and has a much higher success rate of everything going to sleep properly and waking up properly compared to S3 Sleep. And I have to admit, I was wondering too, well, what was the problem with S3 Sleep? But then again, I also know, back to your desktop comment, that there are plenty of problems with S3 Sleep.
Yeah.
Like, say, for example, disabling Wake on Mouse or Wake on Keyboard in the BIOS, and yet having it magically wake up if you so much as bump your mouse anyway. Yeah. Or just wake up randomly.
Yeah.
Right?
I had this thing for a while where I had to put it to sleep 3 times every time. It would just wake back up again, like 5 minutes later, and then I could finally get it to go down.
And I had a lot of people comment on this video. Why don't you just shut down your computer? Why don't you just shut down your computer? If it's an advertised feature of the product... No, you don't get to complain about me complaining about it. That is a problem. That is objectively a problem, and I don't want to hear it. So what? You turn off your computer. I don't give a shit. But if the computer is supposed to go to sleep, I am well within my right to expect that it will go to sleep. Okay? It's like a child, right? The child is supposed to go to sleep. So if it doesn't go to sleep, well, you're well within your right to yell at it and shake it. Obviously kidding. Obviously kidding. I'm trying
not legal advice.
I'm trying to make it so that people don't take me too seriously when I'm going all ranty, because some people can't tell the difference. Okay? All right. Anyway.
I also think sometimes it's like the backing into parking spaces thing. Like, you might have a lot of time when you are done using said device, but you might know that the next time that you have to start using it, you're going to need to use it quickly, but you don't want to just let it sit there running the whole time.
And I get
so you want it to sleep.
I get that your needs might not be the same as mine, but that doesn't make them the only valid needs.
That too.
And I'm not saying that your way shouldn't be supported. That's the thing. I'm not saying, well, everyone should sleep.
Shutdown.
Yeah, you shouldn't shut down. I'm saying you should be able to do both. We should have choice.